Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Always pleased when my friend from new name, we're going to talk about that as well, Children's Museum of Discoveries in Christina Peranio, CEO, is in the house. Always great content, always bubbly, always enthusiastic, always effervescent. So good to see you, Christina.
You too, Drew. Thanks for having me.
It's been we can have you all the time. Are you kidding me? Joined by my co-host, Kristen Blake. She's the PR and Community Affairs consultant. So, Kristen, go ahead. Let's get started.
Christina, it's so great to have you here today.
Thank you.
Please share with us the mission of the Children's Museum of Discovery.
Our mission is to spark a love of learning so that all children can discover their wildest dreams. We love that mission.
And it's all about having fun as well. Talk about play.
Yeah, it is, because that is how children learn. And at the museum, that's what we know. And we know that when parents come through the door, we know they want quality educational experiences for their children. And I don't know that parents always know that it's happening. When it's happening, maybe they just think their kids are having a great time. It's a fun place. But we know that if we were to take you on a tour of every single exhibit inside the museum, we could tell you exactly what was happening, because everything is educationally rooted in educational principles, but also in play. And play is such an important part of what's happening for children, 0 to 10, and really for all of us throughout our lives, but definitely that's how kids are learning at that young age.
Well, I hope your ears are burning. Last week we had on the director of exhibits, and you may know her, Megan Dickerson from the aquarium, Birch Aquarium up in Scripps, Institute of Oceanography. And when we were sort of getting ready for the interview, she goes, "By the way, I got a degree in play." I go, "Huh?" So she sent me this her resume, and she said it's all about play. And I think I said to her, we didn't mention it during the interview, but I said, you need to go up to the Children's Discovery, Museum of Discovery. Talk about the name change.
Yeah. So this year, the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum changed its name to Children's Museum of Discovery. And it's been something we've been working on for many years. It's a mouthful, right? San Diego. I can't even say the old one anymore.
It's San Diego Children's Discovery Museum. Now I can't remember, for God's sake.
And the acronym, SDCDM, it was all too much. And what we really wanted to do was to find a name that that simplified our name, but really kept discovery front and center in all that we do. That is such a huge part of what the play that we're working on and putting forth in the museum is doing. So it's all kind of bringing it all together, shortening it just a little bit, avoiding location confusion, right? We're in Escondido, just for any listeners that are, wondering if we're the downtown museum. We're not, so being in Escondido, the name San Diego in your name can be really confusing.
Well, it was confusing. And, but I think it's all good. And it hits exactly what you're talking about. You folks have been around for quite a while. Did you get some input from your Escondido neighbors on the name change at all? Or you just pretty much did it internally?
Yeah, we did a lot of it internally. We also, we sent the name out right as after we had kind of selected it. We, kind of quietly sent it around to our partners, just gathering some feedback. Everyone loved it. The mayor of Escondido really liked it. He really liked, he did want us to consider putting Escondido in front, but we...
you want sure he did.
But no, it's, yes, our Escondido partners and neighbors feel happy about it, feel great about it. Everyone seems to be really on board. We're going to lean into that acronym in a few more years once we kind of get it established. So So we might be looking at CMOD in a few more years.
Yeah, and I think the fact that you held off in Escondido, nothing wrong with Escondido, because you guys literally serve anybody in the county. You got some mobile vans and all that business, and you're going to be, I don't care if they're in Imperial Beach or whatever the case may be, which I think is very cool about that. Celebrating your silver anniversary, is that correct? Talk about all the cool things you have coming up.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we've been doing that this year. It's 25 years since the museum. So the museum was established by families, residents in Escondido 25 years ago. Grand Avenue is a main street in downtown, right across, right there, right in the heart of it all. And that's where the museum started. So it's appropriate that we're, of course, still in Escondido. We intend to stay in Escondido. We meet a really important need in Escondido. So there is not another space like ours. And there's really not another space like ours in all of North County. So we definitely are. We see ourselves as just that the children's museum that you would want to come to, especially if you're within, that distance to us. And then we had a huge birthday party, because that's how museums for children celebrate anniversaries. So we did that in June, and that was a raging success. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, have you been up there before?
I have not, but I was just watching my 2-year-old twin nieces last night, and I was thinking, we got to go do some things around San Diego now that we're hanging out more. So
that's
putting this on my list.
Yeah. We should. They're the perfect age. Bring them now. They're going to get they're so excited. There's so much challenge, for a 2-year-old in our museum space, and they won't want to leave. We have stickers right by the door because nobody wants to go home.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's great. You folks have had a long relationship with one of our favorite folks, and that is the superintendent of the Escondido Union School District, Luis Ibarra Rankins. And talk about that relationship. It's been pretty much over since the inception, pretty close to it.
Yeah, definitely. We have such a wonderful relationship with the Escondido Union School District because we see it's been many years. We're a trusted partner. But one of the things that we do with Escondido is we take not only the Mobile Children's Museum, so those are our exhibits that go out on a van and then get set up in an auditorium space for classes to come and rotate through engineering and problem-solving challenges. But we also do a series of workshops. So we've partnered closely with the school district to understand what maybe some of the STEM topics have been that have been maybe a little more challenging to teach, difficult to embed in a TKK classroom. And we've been able to bring those on site and support teachers across the Escondido district. So we see all of the TK, kinder, first, and did I get them all? TKK, first, second graders in some capacity. And it's been wonderful.
No, it is a great relationship. We're chatting with Christina Paranio. She is the CEO of the Children's Museum of Discovery. And if you're thinking, but I know there's a San Diego Children's Discovery Museum, it's the same museum. They just did a name change recently, talking about all the cool things that is going on at that museum. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Listen to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast. Been doing this now for 19 years, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Great community leader, 6 decades of doing great things in the community, whether it's through food insecurity, it's art, they do financial literacy, homeless and everything, joined by my co-host, Kristen Blake. She is a PR and community affairs consultant. Kristen, other questions you have for Christina?
This is a big year for you. You have a name change for Children's Museum of Discovery. It's your 25th year. Can you share with us a little bit about the Ignite Their Spark annual gala on September 6th?
Yeah, so we're continuing this year of 25-year celebrations. So, with this, or celebrating the significant milestone. So this is the second year we've had the Ignite Their Spark Gala. We're going to have it on September 6th this year. We are celebrating the museum. So we are doing, like we did last year, we're going to have play for adults. We went back when we started this fundraiser. We thought, what do we know how to do? What should we, because we hadn't done one since before COVID. And we said, well, we know how to, make play. That's what we can do. So that's what we do. But this year we'll have the added element of kind of a walk down memory lane. So we encourage anyone who's interested in just kind of seeing the museum. A lot has changed since COVID. We've had new exhibits come in. We have a brand new water table outside. So that's phenomenal and so much fun. Just a updates, and of course the new name, painted the building. A lot of things are just we're looking really buffed up right now. So we'd encourage anyone to come and celebrate with us, and really to raise important funds so that we're able to support our Access for All program, which is our way of making sure that families that maybe otherwise would not be able to afford to come to the museum are able to, whether that's through the Mobile Children's Museum or just through reduced admission costs. We want to make sure that early childhood education is available and accessible for all families.
Yeah, we come back from break and want to talk about that Waterways exhibit, what that looks like, what people can see. Certainly more about the gala to get that thing sold out for September 6th. And I think it's always good to highlight the Mobile Children's Museum, that if they can't come to you, you're going to come to them. When we returned with Christina Peranio, she is the CEO of the Children's Museum of Discovery. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Let's do another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Thrilled to have back in the studio with us our friends from Children's Museum of Discovery, Christina Peranio. She is the CEO, joined by my co-host, Kristen Blake, PR and Community Affairs consultant. Talk about this new Waterways exhibit. What does it look like? Can you touch it? Can you feel it? Everything about it.
Yeah, of course you can touch it. That's what we do. Absolutely. So the new Waterways exhibit is we decided to kind of build in the learning objective of learning for children to learn where water comes from. So we were able to create the exhibit with that in mind, and so it's one of the unique exhibits in the museum where we've localized parts of the exhibit itself. So water starts in the mountains, and you can touch and see where it hit the button, and the water starts to come down from the rain and the clouds.
Is it indoors or out?
Outdoors.
Okay.
That's outside. Yeah. So one of the few children's museums that can have a water table outside year round.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And what else could they learn from this?
They can learn about where the Dixon treatment plant is. They can learn where Lake Hodges is, and learn where their water sources are. And then at the end of the table, you get to the Children's Museum is right there, has its own little spot. But all the while, you can touch, you can hit balls into a vortex, you can move little dams that'll shift the flow of water. You can get your boat to come on down. But there's educational signage all around. But really, that's that sensory play experience that children love, adults too. You just love putting their hands in water and being able to manipulate it and see what they can do, play together. It's an incredible exhibit, and kind of the biggest new exciting exhibit that we've had in some time.
Yeah, and this, being an educator, you get one of the three major, modes of learning: kinesthetic, you're touching it, and all that; visual, you're looking at it; and auditory, you're hearing it. Or in this one, you can probably do all three in this aspect, and most people do all three to some extent on this. Do you also tell them about, we do live in a desert, we do have some issues with droughts? Do they know that part of this exhibit?
That's what's really fun about this exhibit. We are able to customize the signage around the table, and so while the children who come to the museum probably are learning to read. They're likely their caregivers already can and do read those fun facts off to them. And that's exactly what it says around the signage of the water table, teaching a little bit more about where you live and the fact that water, how you get water and how much water is available to you. And really the fact that we should be conserving water. So we wanted to be thinking about that. How do we make that a sustainable resource? So that is there and on the signage of the table. So for parents and caregivers that will read it aloud, that's another great way, another additional way that kids are learning at the museum.
Yeah. So, Kristen, I was really happy to see that Christina, they're sort of re-energizing, reinvigorating a STEMposium. So maybe you can talk a little bit about what STEMposium is, Christina, and what you're calling it now.
Yeah. So we've had a STEMposium event, which has been an incredible opportunity for the community to come and learn about what is happening at the museum, but really from a training point of view for educators and others in the community. This year, we are changing the name. We're going to call it the Play Exchange. Everything that we do at the museum and in all of our programming is rooted in play for children. And so we also wanted to be able to change the theme of the Play Exchange every time we do it and to highlight one of the three areas of that the museum focuses on. So social and emotional learning, play, or STEM. Those are three things that you'll see in all of the exhibits, all of the programming we do. This year's theme is social and emotional learning. So we are having the Play Exchange with focus on mindfulness. We are having a keynote. Yes. Mina Srinivasian is coming to join us that morning. So we're having this event on October 20th. It'll be a half-day event. It's a $14 admission. So we're any educator interested. It's more of we're looking at it from a kind of a professional development opportunity.
Right.
But also preschool teachers, librarians, other educators, anyone working in early childhood education in any way, shape, or form should plan to be inspired and walk away with some really tangible learnings from this year's Play Exchange.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a lot of fun. You guys at the symposiums I've been involved in before, very cool, very engaging to the educators and families that chose to show up. Talk about how as much important as making sure the kiddies are enjoying it, it's their parents as well. And it's a family affair. Talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, like everything we do, when you do early childhood education, children aren't learning on their own. We are always interested in engaging the caregiver. How is that happening? We try to build that into the exhibits that we create on site. These are other opportunities. Even Play Exchange would be appropriate for even for caregivers that would like to come and learn a little bit more about how do we embed social and emotional learning and mindfulness in even in parenting or in coaching our youngest learners. So definitely, we think about parents all the time. They are so critical to how children are accessing early childhood education.
Right. You've been involved in this type of stuff for a while, Christina. How has it evolved in how we, focus on play for the exhibits themselves to making sure the parents know there is a lot of learning going on with play. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think we see it just by the museum leading the way in bringing exhibits, that are rooted in play. That is very much what we're doing. It is, and we're showing and demonstrating that this is what's happening. I can't tell you all the ways that we see children learning, growing, building, et cetera, problem solving, things that we hope for them, but they're doing it in a way that is really engaging to them. That's always through play. And I think parents are really on board. They see it happening and unfolding before their very eyes when their kids are, building giant forests and making them taller than they ever could be, but they could only do that because they were cooperating with another friend who they never met before, but who came to the museum on that day. It's incredible what happens.
Well, and I think this is where we miss the boat. You guys get it because you're doing it 24/7, 365. And then somehow in someone's mind, it goes, okay, they're old enough now that play isn't important. Are you kidding me? Play should be TK through actually grade 16 if you want to talk about it. And for some reason it stops. And it should never stop. Those middle school students, those upper elementary students, definitely the high school students can benefit as much from play, okay, in whatever they're taking, physics or calculus. Why do people stop at a certain age? What is wrong with us?
Yeah, who knows? Too much homework is what happens after school. school. But I have to tell you, what's happening later on as kids are getting older is they're gaining mastery now when they come back to the museum.
Right.
They're trying those same exhibits that they tried once before, only now they can do it. They can do it faster, better, differently. And do you know the confidence that builds in kids to have seen or to have grown up in the museum and now be able to do things in a different way? And so while the challenge doesn't remain as long, maybe as they get older and older in that 10, 11, 12, the pride in having been able to accomplish something that's been there at the museum that they've been trying for many years is really special.
Yeah, absolutely. We're chatting with Christina Peranio. She is the CEO of the Children's Museum of Discovery of Escondido, celebrating their 25th anniversary. Got some cool things going on. They got a new waterways exhibit. They got their gala coming up on September the 6th. That symposium, now called the Play Exchange, will be on October the 20th, and everything in between. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We're 19 years and counting. Longest community podcast in the nation, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Again, they are so involved in education. They're involved in play. Our walk is one of their favorite events that they do, and everything that helps support learning and just having a great, healthy family experience. And Mission Fed Credit Union is all about that, joined by my co-host, Kristen Blake, PR and Community Affairs consultant. Kristen, one of the things that's great about this organization, that there's never enough time to be in there to learn and to play. I'm not sure if you heard the previous interview. We were working with UCSD Art Power, and they are putting on an event called Clue, the game, a walking mystery.
Ooh,
where
I love
you are
that game.
literally on campus being directed to a building to find a piece of furniture for one of the rooms from Clue.
Wow.
Did you ever play Clue?
I love Clue.
Okay.
That was a fun one.
She's coming with us.
Yeah. When are we
This
going?
thing is phenomenal. And you collect this furniture around campus, and you come back and you try to solve who the person is who did the clue. So that's great. But that's about play. And I think that's terrific. Kristen, what other questions do you have for Christina?
Yes, so this has been a year of amazing change for you and the Children's Museum of Discovery. And I imagine you have a wonderful network supporting the organization, including your board, right? So could you tell us a little bit about your board?
Oh yeah, definitely. So we have a 13-member board. They are absolutely incredible. They are passionate about the Children's Museum of Discovery, and they've done a lot of hard work in the last year and a half. It is not easy to come together and decide on a name that you feel good about, that you all agree on. That's been they've had a lot of extra meetings. We've redone our brand, so the logo is new as well. That launched with a new name, but they are absolutely incredible. They are there when you need them. They are each one bringing different expertise, and our board chair, Amanda Flischer, is incredible. She just her background in leadership and coaching is just always an incredible asset to our board, bringing us all together, keeping us super on point and really enthusiastic about all the work that we're doing. Plus, I mean, she's got littles that she brings to the museum, and that's always super fun too.
Yeah, Kristen, it's just too bad that Christine is not enthusiastic about what she's doing on this. This is why we love her energy. When you come back in, because we love to highlight you, as you know, I want you to be a frequent guest, and you have been. Think about bringing in a child and the parent that has benefited from this, okay?
Yeah,
and we'd love to do that. Why they experiencing the Children's Discovery Museum is meant for the family, is meant for them. So think about that as well. Any
great.
final comments?
No, just thank you so much for having me. Excited to see everyone that can make it to Ignite Their Spark Gala on September 6th. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we hope people can come on out for it.
And what's the website?
www.visitcmod.org.
Well, and Christina Peranio, always good to have you in the house. We'll look forward to your next visit, maybe with a parent and with a child, and wishing you great success on September 6th at the Gala, October 20th at the Play Exchange event, and everything in between. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast in our 19th year, brought to you by the fine folks at Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things for people living in San Diego County. And for our listeners, we hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.